Okay, I think I'll start. First of all, good evening, everyone. I wanted to wrap up this portion of the SRHE annual conference with a few brief reflections from what's been an amazing day. We've had a very successful day of sessions. I know we've got some participants that have dropped off for this one, but we had around 60 papers and an estimate of around 100 attendees. Unfortunately, seasonal illness prevented some speakers from attending, but there was a great deal of interesting material presented and discussed. And that started with that very interesting keynote by Professor Alatas, which stimulated some really interesting questions on the theme of the captive mind and anti-colonial thought. And this was followed by this afternoon's discussion panel on institutional and epistemic forms of resistance, featuring Professor Kathleen Lynch and Dr. Bernie Cromwell. And again, a really good discussion session at the end of that. And throughout the day, I was really impressed by the breadth and the depth of scholarship on display. I chaired wide-ranging sessions on a variety of subjects, including a literature review of student activism and resistance, a session on the university as a political space, an exploration of the limits of higher education datafication, an account of the pursuit of external research funding in Finnish universities. And my final session as chair delved into racism and sexism in UK higher education, with the papers producing really interesting comments and discussion. And that was just my experience. I know that others have participated in different sessions, and I wanted to thank all of our presenters for sharing their research and our attendees for participating in such stimulating discussion. I'd also like to take this opportunity to thank our sponsors. You have to thank your sponsors, to thank our sponsors for their support in making the conference possible. And our sponsors are Routledge, Taylor and Francis, Wiley, Johns Hopkins University Press, and Bloomsbury Academic. So we've really enjoyed this first day of our conference, and we hope to meet up with many of you at the in-person segment in Nottingham this Wednesday to Friday. For those of you who are unable to attend in person, many thanks for your contributions, and please do complete our conference delegate survey. The link will appear in the chat, it's just appeared, and we'll also send that to you separately. These feedback forms are really important for us. We really appreciate your views on what we did well and what we can improve on for future conferences. And please also check back on the website in the next few weeks for the theme of the 2025 conference, which will be Compassion, Collegiality, and Communities in Higher Education. We will be inviting proposals that explore the ways in which higher education can take back control of what has become an increasingly negative depiction and discourse, and instead celebrate the communities at the heart of higher education, the collegiality necessary to deliver high-quality teaching and research, and the compassion to support staff and students in these endeavors. So once again, many thanks to you all for your contributions and your attention in this first important segment of our annual conference. And I think we can all go and have a cup of coffee or a glass of wine now. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye now.